So I told you guys I wanted to do these videos more often where we talk about what's going on with our weightlifting and powerlifting programs. So those of you guys following along or in-house can kind of have an idea of what the intention is behind programming, where we are in the year, why we're doing the things we're doing. So I wanted to do one today and just talk about what's going on with weightlifting this week and what's going on with powerlifting right now. So for weightlifting, we are coming off of our meet prep. Most of the team competed at Palm Beach. We had a great meet. I'm super happy with the results. We have restarted a program leading to Tigo. We are in the beginning. We're in the second week of that program, going into the third week. It's a 12-week program, so we are restarting with a lot of volume. The one of the other things you guys are going to notice is a lot more accessory work. There's a lot of assistance work. It is more high rep work. It is different. It's more bodybuilding style stuff. This is something me and Danny talk about quite a bit, and we're big believers in. A lot of you guys do have technical flaws, and we will address that. But a lot of you guys also just need to get a little stronger in certain areas, build some muscle. That's going to help you long term. It's going to help with injury prevention, make you stronger overall. And I think we ride this line where with weightlifting, it's some people think it's you should just be doing the lifts all the time. And I agree with that almost all the time, but there are periods of the year where we do need to focus on some higher rep, hypertrophy, bodybuilding style work and try to add some muscle to your frame. Weightlifting, yes, we do a lot of squatting, we do a lot of pulling, you guys get strong, but it's in very limited ranges of motion, very limited movement patterns, very limited muscle groups. And we do need at times to explore different types of movement, different muscle groups, and try to add some size and strength to those areas. So one of the big things you're going to notice this cycle, at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks, is a lot more bodybuilding style work. And I want you guys to prioritize that. If you have a very limited amount of time in a day, I don't want you just doing the lifts and leaving. We can talk with your coaches, skip some of the lifts, get one or two in, the ones that are more important to you, and make sure you prioritize that accessory work. As far as technical stuff, before Palm Beach Open, towards the end of the last cycle, a lot of you guys would ask me about what can I do to improve whatever your issue is, your second pull, you start off the floor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't necessarily the time to fix all those things, but now is. A lot of you guys have gotten drills from me or other coaches on the floor, and this is the time to implement them at the beginning of your training. At the beginning of every training session, it is okay, and actually it is preferred for you to do some specific barbell work, some technical work. The warm-up we publish is not necessarily enough. You need to be doing some barbell specific work to your weaknesses. If you don't know what you should be doing, and you know you have weaknesses, which all of you do, talk to me or some other coaches, and we can write or give you guys more detailed examples of drills that can help you. As the last thing I want to touch on is conditioning. Some of you guys have noticed we're going back to doing triples and you're really out of breath, you're really out of shape. And some of you guys have asked me about conditioning. It is absolutely okay for weightlifters to condition. However, it is not okay for you guys to do CrossFit all the time as conditioning. Some of you guys like to run, and that's fine. If you're good at running, okay. But if you don't run all the time, don't introduce it now when you're doing high rep stuff. Sit on a bike, sit on a rower, something that's more low impact. If you know how to run and you're efficient at it and it doesn't bother your knees or hips, by all means, go for it. But it is okay to condition. It is not bad. You're not going to get weaker as long as you're smart about it, as long as the intensity is low and the volume overall is maintained and it's not an excessive amount. You're not doing 10Ks on Saturday for no reason. Okay? If you have any more questions as far as weightlifting, let me know. Powerlifters, you guys are also early in a cycle. You're early in a strength cycle, but as opposed to weightlifters who just maxed out, you guys didn't. You ran a high volume cycle, you've done a bunch of high rep work, and now we're shifting into strength block. It has gotten heavy really fast. Some of you guys are crushing. You've made serious gains during the high rep work, and all your singles and percentage work seems easy. Awesome. Don't go heavier right now. We're in the beginning of a 10 or 11 week strength cycle. Do not go heavier yet. You will have opportunities. Some of you guys are running into the opposite of that, where you're a little beat up from the high volume work and the hypertrophy work. That's okay. It's a long cycle. We're going to have more periodic deloads. Next week, we are leading into a deload. You will see some singles at around 85%. For a lot of you guys, this is single practice. We're big believers that singles and squat, bench, deadlift need to be practiced like any other movement. And 85% singles for you guys should just be considered practice, right? If 85% feels heavy or something hurts, go lighter or skip it. It's okay. That isn't, next week is overall a volume deload week. Okay, it's okay to skip those singles. Also, don't go heavier on those singles. We have a lot of time left to the end of the cycle. Okay? I constantly have to remind you guys, but we cannot be short-sighted, especially during a strength block like this. What I mean by that is when you have RP 8 or 9, that does not mean max out now. You're going to see so many singles and max out days towards the end of the cycle. You don't need to do it now. We don't get stronger performing max out reps, right? That's not how you build strength. We build strength with our percentage work and our volume work. All right, so don't be short-sighted with that. Take the deload if you need it next week. If you need more than what's programmed, that's okay. Pull back even more. Make sure you're staying healthy. Make sure you're preventing injuries. So towards the end of the cycle, we can push a bit more. And if you're the opposite and you feel awesome, good, cool. Keep feeling awesome. Don't go above percentages right now. It's not the time for that, okay? There will be time. Cool? Again, any questions, feel free to post in the Facebook group or hit me up. Thanks, guys.